Oh, dude, yeah. I think when we go to the dark stuff, we'll be able to fuck them up. I saw some monsters.
Hey everybody, in today's video we're going to be commercially spearfishing down at Boca Grande Pass for sheepshead. We're going to be diving the phosphate docks and then the docks north of the phosphate docks. I don't think we go any deeper than 10 foot, mainly because the last month down here there's been absolute bull sharks out the wazoo, an absolute pile of them, and they've all been in really shallow water. I'm hoping most of them have already left and headed down to Keys for the winter time. It didn't quite work out that way. We had one show up at the end of the trip, but I'll wait till we get to that part to talk about that. As you can tell, we're obviously spearfishing at night. There's a few things I wanted to point out about spearfishing at night. Right here when we're spearfishing, both the nights we were out here, it's a full moon. When it's a full moon, the fish can actually see pretty good, so they are a little jumpy. On nights when it's actually really dark and there's no full moon out, the sheepshead pretty much just sit there. They won't move around at all. It's pretty phenomenal. If y'all are going to do this, do not carry the stringer on your body. We have learned this years ago. If you carry your stringer on your side, at one point or another, a shark will come up to you and it will take you off the stringer off your side. Hopefully it doesn't take your leg with it. A buddy of ours had this happen in waist deep water. He stood up to put the sheepshead on the stringer, and as he was doing it, the shark swam up and tore the stringer off the side of his body. Luckily, his stringer was clipped onto a little plastic D-ring on his dive belt. And ever since then, we put our stringer on a float line with our dive flag attached to it, and we just tow it behind us on like a 20-foot rope. In this situation, we'll just tie it up to one of our pilings here around us, and we'll shoot fish, and we'll swim over to that piling, and we'll put it on the stringer and leave it there. Lots of times you'll come back to put a fish on the stringer, and you'll notice that one of your once whole 14, 16, 18-inch sheepshead is now chomped in half and is only 6 inches. At that point, we just move spots, go somewhere else. Or you'll be swimming along, towing your stringer, and all of a sudden you'll feel a tug, tug, tug on that rope. That's because there's a shark back there chomping down on a stringer, eating some of the fish off of it. Again, we just get in the boat and go somewhere else, and we'll do it again. The best way to avoid all these issues is just not to go spearfishing at night or during the day, and you won't have any issues with sharks at all. Just stay in the boat. That's not an option for me. I absolutely love doing this. You can use a spear gun doing this, but we find that managing your line at night is a lot going on. Holding the light, it's just so much easier with a pole spear. During the day, when you're shooting sheepshead, yeah, you need some distance because they're a lot more spooky at night, as you can obviously tell by watching this video. The pole spear is the way to go as far as shooting sheepshead. There was a few spots, like at the end of the docks where there's lights on, where the sheepshead were actually under the lights. They were spooky. A gun might have been better in that one situation, but here where we moved to where the water's darker, even with the full moon, we didn't have an issue using a pole spear. And it's just so much easier to reload. So when we shoot the sheepshead, leave them on your pole spear, go over to the stringer, put the sheepshead on the stringer. Here we go, watch this. Put them on the stringer, unhook the stringer, slide the fish down, lock the stringer back, then pull the pole spear out. And watch, see the flounder come back to life once we pulled the pole spear out? That's why you do that. And the stringer we're using here is just an old spear gun shaft, a 66-inch shaft that got bent up when we speared, I don't know, a cobia or a permit or something. And we just bent the spear shaft around in the shape of the stringer. And even because it's not like nice and round, it's still got some bends on it. The fish slide on and off of it just fine. It's really not a big deal. I'm sure you could make one out of a 48-inch shaft that's bent up too. Probably won't hold as many as that stringer did. That one I think holds 36 sheepshead, give or take.
No. Just take it, click them out on the GoPro. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. I didn't look at him long. I was like, hey, Nelson. I saw you looking left. I was like, dude, there's a big shark
I
over
was looking for a flounder. I thought you saw a flounder. You're like, oh, yeah. Check this flounder out. No.
Yeah, he was decent.
Fuck you for that shallow of water.
I don't know, it might just be me, but it seems like, I don't know.
What?
Like, they don't seem like they want to bother you.
No. Look at all the fucking fish we had in the water.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Fucking bleeding and shit.
Yeah.
Freaking out.
Yeah, he was 4 or 5 feet from me.
Really?
When he came by.
What?
I don't know why I had a funny feeling. I look right, and he goes, woo. I'm like, oh.
4 or 5 feet from you?
Yeah, he was close.